everybody, Adela Levine, intuitive and medium. Welcome to those who have just discovered my channel, and welcome back to those who've been hanging with me for a while. Thank you to both for hanging with me today. Today we're going to talk about manifestation magic. Yes. So I like to call it manifestation magic. Not that, and magic with a K. So hopefully you're not expecting card tricks because you'll be disappointed. This is a different type of magic, of course. I think we all know what I'm talking about. And I kind of believe that manifestation and magic are very similar. Now, I'm going to be talking about this like I do everything else that I talk about from my understanding. Cup of choice today, mug of choice. My understanding and how I've come to do it and how I've come to understand manifestation. Everything I've learned about this subject, like all of the subjects that I cover here, come from the other realm. It's not that I'm anti-books. I like that people read books, if that's what helps you, and research and all that. But for my path, and this is my particular path, everything I've learned has come from the spirit world and that realm. And it's mostly probably because of my path, that the work that I do, so that you guys know that as a medium, the medium side of me is getting information from that realm, meaning that I am actually mediating. And it helps me to trust the information too, because a lot of times information that comes from earthly realm and people come from ego. So what I mean by that is the things I'm going to share with you today and the things that I share, and that includes manifestation. That word has been thrown around a lot, and there's a lot of people have a lot of tips and tricks. I kind of call them tips and tricks because there are things that they tell you to do and how to do it to create this magic in your life. Like everything, I believe it's unique to you and how you tick. However, I do see it more from an energy place, meaning that whatever intention you're trying to create and pull into this realm, into your life, we have to cooperate, we have to do our part, but it is all energy to me. So probably what I get a little uncomfortable with the term manifestation is that it's been taught to people to create a dream board, to put what you want on a dream board. There's also things I've heard people say, oh, I'm gonna manifest this into my life, I'm gonna pull this into my life. I'm smiling because I have watched a show, which I'm sure all of you have watched, called Big Brother, and that's actually one of the people on there. She talks about manifestation, and this is an example to me of how you may not want to do manifestation, because it's basically, I think she said a term that was kind of the epitome of what a lot of people tend to think of it and can go wrong, which is good people the universe takes care of. I don't want to throw, this isn't a B&B video, but this is an example of not a way to look at the universe, because that's implying only good things happen to good people. It's also implying there's some special hierarchy and that certain people are more special. And this is kind of my problem with the way manifestation has been looked at. If I'm doing good things, if I'm being a good person, then good things should happen to me, or the universe will take care of me. When we have to remember the balance. There's a balance of things and the trials and tribulations that we go through, the negative things we go through, and the positive things that we all are supposed to be experiencing both. It's what you turn it into, and that's kind of the magic part. So in other words, there's the human earthly realm that we're existing in. There's rain, there's sleet, there's, that's like examples, obviously, but symbolically, excuse me. There's there's the things that we go through that are falling upon us, and they're difficult. And the physical world and the earthly world can make things very difficult, right? And so we bump up upon these things, and we start to feel like, wow, are these blocks just coming into my life and these difficulties? And the idea of manifestation magic is the idea of knowing how to go past this realm into the other dimension. So how I see it is, if you're trying to pull something in, a couple of things. One, you have to rise up to meet. You can't sit on your couch, so to speak, and wish upon a genie to arrive, meeting the universe, deities, angels, whatnot, to bring to your life what you need and what you want. There is an exchange of energy. There's an interchange. So if you want to push something into the world, meaning like, what are you going to give out and in exchange for receiving? This doesn't mean charity. This doesn't mean you have to give up all your possessions and everything. This means an energy exchange. Let's say, for instance, you want a raise, or you want a promotion, or there's a passion you have and you want it to succeed, right? If this is what you are trying to pull into your life, the universe looks at it like, if I put you into this place and I help you get into this place, you need to use that as a stepping stone. It doesn't mean like you get the promotion and you're like, okay, now that I have the promotion, I have to run out and I have to buy everyone's lunch. It means like, keep building that boat, right? Keep building your large boat. So if you build a large boat, the universe will help you. It's like, what are you going to do with this power? Or what are you going to do with this success? Or what are you going to do to return? Simple as this. We're all servicing each other. We're all here to provide a service for each other. When you start forgetting that and seeing yourself as a higher above people, and that you're in this position to like rise yourself higher and higher, and therefore look and see like how much better you're doing than everyone else, that is kind of not what the universe likes to work with. So when you want to pull something into your life, you want to pull, let's say, of course, money. People want to pull in success. People want to pull in love. You kind of visualize it like you're opening up a door and you're labeling that door, or I would say gateway. And if you hear the scratching, you know, that's on key. My little kitties like to come involved. I think they, you know, she sees me talking and she's like, oh, we're hanging. You see it, you open up, see it as a gate. So if you want to do it, if you're doing it like in a working, like in a magic way for people who are witchy, but if you are not seeing it yourself that way and you still want to kind of create this, it's all the same. So you create almost like a gateway, and you label this gateway, and you see this gateway as a gate to energy. So instead of seeing it as money or tangible money, you see it as energy. Instead of seeing it as success, you see it as energy. And you reach through that gate and you pull that energy to you, and you pull it into you. What I was shown is that doing this is almost like you're pulling it into your heart. This is what I was shown it really means. It's not like a prayer. It's more like you're pulling from one dimension into the physical dimension. So you see it as strings that you're pulling, right? And coming off of your physical self into the other realm, and you want to manifest it. It just means forming it into something physical. It's the same idea as a painter, a musician, somebody who has a vision, and they get struck with this vision, and now they want to put it into something physical. We do this all the time. People have a great idea, people are inspired, and now you have to put it into a physical form. That's all manifestation really means. Manifestation magic. It means you are creating something that is an energy base, and you're pulling it into something physical. And you do have to work on it. You do have to use the physical, meaning like if you're looking for work or you want to increase your income, you have to put the energy, you have to plant the seeds, you have to soil the ground. So you can't just say, I'm going to dream of it and it will come. This is a mistake a lot of people make. Is like, well, I'll manifest it because I'll just think of it so hard, I'll want it so hard, I'll push the energy for it to be, and so therefore it will be. You have to do actual physical things. Like you have to make phone calls, you have to think of like, okay, what can I do to kind of open some doors? It is an inner exchange, because the way that realm looks at it is like this. If you are going to put energy out and you're asking us to assist you, yes, because you are showing that you are believing that you have to push your energy and you have to physically do things, and you're asking for an assistance, then that is different. But if it is a request, not cool, because then you're basically filling in a form and you're actually treating the universe and you're treating the other dimension as your servants to serve you, to create. There's a difference between us servicing each other, being there for each other, mirroring each other, and doing things for each other, teaching each other, than treating that universe like it's a genie in the bottle that's supposed to appear and create this for you. And so when you look at it like, well, this is, if you see it more like this, if something negative happens to you and it sucks, I'm not saying it doesn't, and you don't like it and it's horrible and you're going through it, I understand, and you feel like, okay, what now? What am I going to do? I'm just kind of sitting here feeling defeated. It's okay to go into that energy. I know people don't say that, they just like rise up and smile, and I think that's the problem. Manifestation is almost look at The Secret and all this stuff is kind of taught more like, oh, you have to be, positive and rise above it. It's okay to go into the depths of despair and sadness and feel it, because this is how Phoenix rises. You don't rise by being above the dirt and above the mud. You rise by going through it. And let me repeat that. You rise and pull what you need to you by going through the yucky part, the muddy part, the painful part, the unpleasant part. Because I'm telling you, this is how your wings get stronger. This is how you actually pull that magic to you. Because you go into it, you feel it, you allow yourself to feel crushed, and you sit there and you kind of feel all that emotion. You get angry because that's your human side, you get sad, and then you go, okay, now let come to me what I need to do to pull myself up. And this is how you become stronger and quicker at pulling what you want, when you accept the yin and the yang, when you accept that there is going to be pushback and that you have to push back, meaning kind of imagine like a boxer who's like hitting on a boxing bag. They're going to get stronger, their hands are going to get tougher, and it's not to be tough in the sense of not feeling or being cold. It's the idea of seeing yourself with humility. So when you see yourself with humility of, I am a part of everything that is happening, and there's nothing more or different or better or less than me, that everyone is going through something, everyone is pushing their way around this world, everyone is trying to pull to them something. They want love, they want to feel good, they want success, they want to take care of themselves. If they have a family, want to take care of their family, they want to maybe take care of animals, different things like this. Then everybody is having this feeling of purpose and wanting to create. And when you see that you are part of the yin and yang, so to speak, or literally meaning the ebb and flow, that everyone is going through a down and an up. I feel like what people see as manifestation magic is being like how to just go up. How do I make it all up? How do I make it all positive? Instead of the idea of like, okay, so I'm going through something and I'm trying to find my way through it. That is what really manifestation is when you say, okay, I'm going through this and I found the door, I created the door, I opened the door, and I pulled towards me what I needed, instead of the door just appeared. So I feel these are very, very different. So if you want to know what things that you can do, what you can do is, if you're sitting there in this place and you're like watching this and you're like, Adela, I'm going through a lot of stuff, like most of us are going through, and you're saying, and you feel this, you feel like this despair, or you feel like there's no door, allow yourself to go into the feeling, give yourself time. I'm just talking about Obviously, I'm not saying for people to get depressed and go into depression. There's a difference. I'm saying it's okay to allow yourself a few days. If you're a person that only needs a few hours, okay. And you go, okay, I got to kind of sit in this. I'm going to go deep into it. And then I'm going to push my way out of it into the sun. And you go, okay, I'm going to allow myself to go into it, and I'm going to feel everything, because then you get some highlights of, okay, where did this path go wrong? Where did I feel, where did I go with this? Where am I? How did I get here? And then as you're following that, you go, oh, okay, I see now. I see where the little blocks are coming from, where the little pushback is coming from, and I may have to let go, because that is also the exchange. Sometimes it's like I got to let something go and not have fear. Maybe I have to, let go of this job, or maybe I have to let go of something that I was pursuing for like a minute. It doesn't mean it has to be forever, but you have to see the thing that's kind of blocking your way and accept it and go, maybe this is just time, even though it's not what I had a plan for, but I'm seeing the energy is changing. And that's the last part I want to say. Manifestation magic is seeing where the energy is changing. It's kind of doing this and going, all right, you know what? I've been doing this for about a year. It doesn't mean like, well, that's it, I'm done. It means it's shifted. It's shifted and it's transformed into something else. And that I was maybe going to this and doing this every day and waking up and doing it in this way. Maybe I can tell it's just not kind of clicking the way it used to be. Instead of getting upset and saying something's wrong and I just want to push it, when you feel like you're pushing something that just isn't clicking anymore, you got to look at that. And that's what a lot of people don't do, is they go, okay, things aren't clicking. I'm not having the same results that I was having before. So I'm going to manifest for it to all just suddenly change. Instead of, I need to kind of sit in it and see why it's not clicking. I need to maybe accept it, and then I need to switch paths, and I need to go, okay, I got to let that go and go left and go right. And remember that the other realm is trying to help you. They're trying to guide you. They're trying to kind of knock on the window, knock on your door, and kind of get you to see it's time to maybe shift gears. And sometimes that change, that shift doesn't feel good. And then you go, okay, I'm going to let it go and I'm going to accept it. And then and then you say, okay, I'm willing to do that, but I'm going to look and see where the next door is supposed to. So in order to pull things, there is an energy where you see the energy in the other realm, see your vibration, your frequency pushing out into those gateways and pulling it. And you can kind of do this on a daily thing if you want. But remember to close those gates. If you're opening up gates, remember to close them when you're done, and you just accept it. Be specific about what you want. Be specific. So if you are saying you want, money type of thing, don't be afraid to be specific. Here's the last and final key. Do not be afraid to make your demand, but also you need to understand that you have a part that's supposed to give back out. So there's a part of you that's supposed to return in energy. So it's okay to demand what it is that you want from the universe. It's okay to make that demand as long as you are going to change it. To return it. And how you ask to return it, you'll know when it's time. You'll know when you say it feels like this is something I'm supposed to do, even if it's uncomfortable, even if I'm a little scared, but I feel like I'm supposed to actually say yes to this thing and return it. Basically, don't get full of yourself, and don't forget your humility, and don't forget that we are all here to exchange. And so you'll know when it's the right time. Like I said, it's not writing a check to a charity. It's not just volunteering. It can be something very small. It could be something not very small, but you'll know. I hope that makes sense. I'm sure I'll get some questions on this. But I feel like the main thing is, remember, manifestation magic is not just sitting there and dreaming of it and putting it on a board and focusing on it, because you're not really remembering the exchange when you do that. It's more like, what am I here to do? What is my purpose? What is it, my calling? Who am I? Let me remember that. And then I can make these demands as well, but I need to remember why I'm making them and where it's going and how it's going to exchange along the path. Meaning, step by step. You don't have to know every single answer, you know, the big picture. If it's just something like a promotion, just remember why it is that you want this promotion, where you're going with it. Don't just get caught up in like this is forever, because you're being guided into your true calling. Okay, I hope that helped. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for all of the comments. Please keep them coming. If you notice, I tend to answer them. You can follow me here and subscribe. That would be awesome. Comments are awesome. Likes are awesome. Appreciate all of it. You can also follow me on Instagram under Adele Levine, where I post a lot of things. And the Witch and the Medium podcast that I co-host with Mystic Dylan, who is the witch, I'm the medium, and you can listen to us on all podcast platforms, most podcast platforms, I'm pretty sure. Thank you guys so much. Remember to follow yourself, follow no one, listen to that inner voice. What I mean by follow, I mean as far as spirituality, follow your inner voice, trust it, and let it guide you, and take all this information and stir it into a pot and make it your own. Thank you so much, and see you soon.